I want to discuss a box spread. This is actually a revision of a video I made many years ago, and in looking over the previous video I realized that the graph I presented was incorrect given the data I used. The graph is correct for many box spreads, and that's the normal graph you'll see, but it isn't consistent with the data I happen to use. So I want to redo that, and I'm going to show you also how you can plot the box spread in Excel so you don't make the same mistake I made. So a box spread, or a long box, is a common arbitrage strategy, and it involves buying a bull spread together with the corresponding bear spread. Both spreads have the same strike prices and expiration dates. The long box is used when the spreads are underpriced in relation to their expiration values. And this is a delta neutral strategy. So the cost is the cost of the bull spread and the bear spread. And the cost of the bull spread, we're going to use calls, is the value of the call with the lower strike price minus the value of the call with the higher strike price. Remember, to create a bull spread, you're going to buy the call with the lower strike, and you're going to write the call with the higher strike price, plus the cost of the bear spread, and we're going to use puts here. So the value of the cost of the bear spread is the cost of the put with the higher exercise price or strike price minus the put with the lower strike price. In this case, you're buying the put that has the higher strike price, and you're writing the put that has the lower strike price. Expiration value of the box equals the higher strike price minus the lower strike price. The risk-free profit, if there is any, equals the present value of expiration value of the box minus the net premium paid. So therefore, the net premium paid should be equal to the present value of the expected value of the box for the arbitrage opportunity to be eliminated. If it's not, there may be an arbitrage opportunity. Now, in this discussion here, we're assuming no transactions cost. So even if prices aren't perfect, there still may not be the opportunity to benefit from it once you account for transactions cost. So let's take a look at an example. Suppose we have a July 50 put that sells for 97 cents. The July 55 put sells for $2.69. So the 55 put should sell for more than the 50 put because, remember, for a put, this is the price you can sell the asset for. And being able to sell at 55 is certainly better than being able to sell at 50. We have a July 50 call that sells for $3.29, and the July 55 call sells for $1.23. And again, the prices are consistent with what we expect. The strike price is the price you're buying at, and being able to buy at 50 is certainly better than being able to buy at 55. The cost of the bull spread is just going to be the cost of the call that we're long minus the call that we're short, or in this case, $2.06. The cost of the bear spread is the cost of the long put, $2.69, minus the short put of 97 cents or $1.72. And if you add those two together, you get a cost of the box of $3.78. And this is what it will look like. And so this is a correct graph. So this is the cost of the bear spread, $1.72. And this is the cost of the bull spread, 206, and you can see this is what the bull spread looks like. This is what the bear spread looks like, and they cross at $52.67. Okay, so you have to sort of work that out with some algebra. And the profit in this case turns out to be $1.22. That is, that if you go back, we had what, $3.78 was the cost of the box, and the difference between 50 and 55 is $5. So 5 minus the 378 is where we come up with the $1.22. And anywhere along, at any price, you'll find that the profit is $1.22. So the question is there an arbitrage opportunity? Well, x2 minus x1 is 55 minus 50. If we assume there's a 1% interest rate for the period, then in this case, the present value is $4.95. And so the box is underpriced. The net premium is $3.78. As I mentioned before, transactions cost would eliminate some of these profits. So you've got to have enough of a difference in order to benefit from that. Let's take a look at how you graph this and how you plot this. What you have to do if you're going to work this out is you want to work out what the payoffs would be for each position. Long call, short call. If you add those two together, you get the bull spread. Long put, short put, and then if you add these two together, you get the bear spread. If you add the bull spread to the bear spread, you get the box spread. So this is, how do you do this? Well, up here I've put the two premiums, or I'm sorry, the two strike prices, 50 and 55, and I've put the premiums. So the premium for the 50 put is 97 cents. For the 50 call is $3.29. For the 55 strike price, the put cost $2.69. The call cost $1.23. So the long call, and you can't see it very well, is going to be the maximum of the stock price right here minus the strike price, which is 50, or 0. Remember that in the case of a call option, okay, or a put option, if you own the option, you're not obligated to use it if it's not beneficial. So if it's worth less than 0, we just take on the value of 0. And then here I subtract out the cost of the call premium, which is in D5. So formula-wise, it's going to be the maximum, parenthesis, B10 minus D $3. I put the dollar sign so I can copy this down, minus D $5. The short call, on the other hand, we're going to receive the money. So we can just put in the value of the long put and just make it negative. Or, I'm sorry, the long call, and make it negative. So I have negative, and then parentheses around it, the maximum of the stock price minus the strike price. In this case, the strike price is 55 for this put, or 0, and then minus the cost. And I get $1.23 here. So when I add those together, I get that the bull spread cost me $2.06. Okay, that's when it's out of the money. If I scroll down here, as the price goes up, it moves to being in the money. Similarly, I do it for the long put and the short put. The short put, the formula is going to be the maximum of the strike price, in this case the 55, minus the stock price, which is here in B10, and I don't put a dollar sign in front of that, but I will put a dollar sign in front of the 3 here so I can copy it down. okay, minus the cost of the put premium, which is here in E4. And I put a dollar sign in front of that, and then I copy it down. And you can see that as the price rises, the value of this long put goes down. And then, of course, once you get to a high enough price, it becomes worthless. That is, you're going to lose your 269. Similarly, I did it for the short put. Okay, and the way I did this is the same. I put in the value or the formula for a long put, but then just took the negative of it. So I have minus and then parentheses around the whole term I have here, the maximum of D3, strike price, minus stock price, or 0, and then minus the premium. And then when I add these together, this and this, I get the bear spread. So this would be, in this case, F10 plus G10, and then I copy the formula down. Don't forget to put an equal sign in front of the terms. The box spread is simply the bull spread plus the bear spread. And you'll notice that it's $1.22 everywhere. How do you graph it? Well, you can just highlight all the cells. I've already graphed it on the right-hand side, but I will go and say insert, and I can never remember, whether it's a line graph or scatter plot, so I always go with the recommended graph. And you can see if I choose that, it looks a little bit messy because it's showing you everything. So let me jump to the graph I've actually created here, right here. And if you click on this, I don't know, it looks kind of like a wine glass here, you can decide what you want to see. So here I wanted to see the bull spread, the bear spread, and the box spread. But if I wanted to do simply, if I want to simply look at the bull spread and the long call and the short call, I can do that. And then you hit apply, and it shows you what it is you want to see. So we have the, I may have highlighted some other stuff here. Let's see. I forgot to take out the bear spread. Okay. So here I have long call, short call, and then together, a little bit hard to see there, the gray one is the bull spread. And likewise, I can do that with the bear spread. So let me go back to what I had before, bear spread and box spread and bull spread, and just hit apply, and that's what I had before. This is the straight line here, that's the box spread. You're going to get $1.22 regardless of what the price is. This is what the green line is what the bear spread looks like. This gray line is what the bull spread looks like. And combined, you get that box spread. So it's well worth learning to do in Excel to plot it so that you can actually see what it looks like. And you can do, as I did a minute ago, you can look at what the bull spread looks like by itself. You can look at what the bear spread looks like by itself. You can put the two together and get the box spread. You could just look at the box spread. So you can look at anything you want, but graphing it in Excel allows you to see what the payoffs are, and if you put the formulas in correctly, you're going to get the correct graph here and not make the same mistake I did, which is I drew a graph that wasn't consistent with the numbers I had. So I hope you found this to be helpful, and thanks for watching.